Hey everybody, this is David Phillips, HM605, doing my checkout video. Better late than never, I guess. It's been a really tough quarter for me, between losing my best friend to foreclosing on my house. It's been really hard. I actually considered dropping the program before this quarter. Stuck it out. I'm glad I did. I don't feel like I posted to my personal expectations, but certainly it's been it's been a good quarter. I've learned a lot from this class. I want to thank all the students who've posted and left some very intelligent ideas and inquiries out there for us all to think about. Of course, Alicia organizing the class has been quite a pleasure to go through. There's been a lot of challenging projects to keep up with, and the motivation level for it is really up to the individual. So going through what I've learned in this class and what I'll take out of it, the subject matters that obviously we posted on, they were great. They're good contemporary subjects that I think a lot of people are putting a lot of thought into, from strength and conditioning training for children, dealing with obesity in children for the first discussion posts, even some posts about breath work, which I thought is incredibly fascinating. It's something I have personal interest in, but generally speaking, working with children is something that I see myself doing since I've been in this program, and it's become a growing interest, so that was great to see. The technology post I wasn't too excited about, honestly. It was not something that I delve into too much, put a lot of thought or research into, but some of the concepts of texting and app platforms and tablets to some of the more modern equipment for high caliber athletes and your everyday weekend warrior. There's some neat stuff out there, a lot of thought process going into both developing some pretty intricate technologies to some pretty simple things that we all can use on a regular basis. It's pretty neat. There's a lot of things to be encouraged about, and some things that could certainly boost somebody who's looking to get over that hump and really meet their goals. Some of this technology, I think, can really achieve that. The third discussion on physical activity promotion was another one that really, I think, people put a lot of creative thought into. I mean, obviously, city planning, the development of parks, some of the fun and creative ideas from bike lanes to piano stairs. Those are all great concepts, and I think gets people thinking in the right direction. I think living in a city like Charlotte, there's a lot of modernity to it, and you see a lot of concepts that have started to become popular ideas, but not necessarily tangible actions, simply because the cities are old and the infrastructure is already relatively in place. Charlotte there's a lot of sprawl, and there's a lot of opportunity to build in some of that technology. So the light rail came a couple years ago. We've got active bike lanes. It's a very bike-friendly city. It certainly was not 10 years ago. I was a lot more active on bikes back then, and it was a much more dangerous city. So that's always good to see. Of course, some of the ideas on school programs for children, as far as promoting physical activity. Clearly, the youngsters are the future, so that's always a thoughtful subject to bring on board. And the last post on hamstring and ACL injuries, lots of practical information for our clients and for ourselves. I think that's obvious, the relationship, but there was still some interesting posts from ACL recoveries to specific causes of ACL injuries, from tibial plateaus to rotation in hyperextended positions in athletics, and jumping mechanics, recovery posts on grafting and where those grafts come from and how the healing process happens. Really, really informative things, and I think that's practical for all of us, because ACL injuries, really knee ligament injuries in general, are a bit of a crisis. So that's good to see. Obviously, the papers were great. The length was enough to really challenge us to do a good deal of research and put a lot of thought into them. Being in the full-time program, it was challenging to knock out two of those, but loved it. I really learned a lot about the two subjects. Alicia allowing the freedom to pick the subject was really helpful. I felt like I put a lot into it because I had the freedom to choose. It was my responsibility to make sure it was done well, because it was my choice. So I think that's a good thing to have in place. The essay questions were tough for me because they came fast. My weeks have been really in the beginning dedicated to figuring out how to make things work in my personal life. And so by Wednesday or Thursday, I realized the essay questions were due at the end of the week, so I think I dropped the ball a bit on that one. But it's still enough time to integrate some learning with that. And obviously with this post, again, last second with it, but better late than never. So, but it's been a great class. I've enjoyed learning with all you guys. I think for me, my biggest takeaways are some of the ideas and concepts within the activities for children. Particularly some of the information supporting strength training and conditioning for children. I think that's still a very controversial subject. So as much information as we can get, the better. And then one of my papers I wrote on tensegrity and exercise, and that's something I've been thinking about for a long time, and have been a fan of Buckminster Fuller for quite a many years, being a fascial practitioner, and taking the time to apply those concepts to exercise, I felt like challenged me in a really good way, because I haven't done that yet. I've really been kind of obsessing about tensegrity and the philosophy of how that fits into the model of static assessment and pain relief as a body worker, but not quite how you apply it to exercise. And surprisingly, there was quite a bit of information out there regarding utilizing anatomy trains, lines, and tensegrity for exercise. So that was a real pleasure. And I've continued to kind of dive into that a little deeper. So thank you all for a wonderful class. Hopefully by next quarter I'll be a bit more on my feet and able to participate as expected. So thanks.